Hey, what's going on, everyone? A big welcome to another video. And in this video, I will be analyzing Game 8 of the World Chess Championship match between Ding Liren and Ian Nepomniachtchi. So this game ended in a draw, which was a big blow for Ding Liren because he had a winning position during this game. And if he had won, then the score would be equal. However, Ian Nepomniachtchi managed to maintain his 1-point lead, and the next game, he will be having the white pieces. So let's look into the action. So the game opened up with 1d4 by Ding Liren, one of his main moves, even though in one game he did play the English as well, which was 1c4. So Ian Nepomniachtchi sticked to his main weapons, which is the Nimzo-Indian, while if knight f3 it's d5, and I'm assuming if g3 it's also d5. So c4, e6, even though he's been a lifetime Grunfeld player, now he plays in this match, his preparation is the Nimzo-Indian formation. And here white has a choice. Knight c3 that was played is a move. Knight f3 is a move, where he went d5 in game 2. G3 is of course also a move. A3 is a move. Bishop f4 is a move. You name it. So knight c3 was the choice, allowing the Nimzo-Indian. And after bishop d4, white went e3. And of course, there are many moves against the Nimzo-Indian. Apart from e3, there is also f3, which was the choice of Anand against Carlsen. And there is also, of course, knight f3, the classical, let's see, the Kasparov variation, just this one. Queen c2 is the classical variation that also Kasparov played with success. There's, of course, bishop g5, the Leningrad variation. There is a3, which is the, what's it called, Samish variation. There is, of course, queen b3. There is also bishop d2 is a move. There is g3. You name it. So many possible moves against the Nimzo-Indian, but e3 was the choice of Ding, and Nepomniachtchi went with castles. A3 from white from Ding, and black took on c3, of course, and white captured back. So already there is a dynamic imbalance in the position. White has the bishop pair, black has a better pawn structure because white's pawns are doubled on the c file, and the a3 pawn is also weak. Now, he continued with d6, so he's following the strategy of putting his pawns on dark squares because he has exchanged his dark squared bishop. So there is obviously this thing in chess called good and bad bishops. So here, since black only has the light squared bishop left, it definitely makes sense, the strategy of putting his pawns on the dark squares, the color opposite to that of the bishop they have left, in order to not block that bishop and to fight for the dark squares. Knight e2 was played, and here Nepomniachtchi thought for the first moment in this game. He went c5, knight g3, knight c6, rook a2. Rook a2 is always a typical idea in the Nimzo-Indian formations, in order to make a rook lift, to swing the rook, maybe to e2, maybe to d2. Of course, it depends how black will play. b6 was played, and e4 from white. So white is taking full control of the center. Bishop a6, okay, and bishop g5 from white. Bishop a6 is a typical idea for black in the Nimzo-Indian. It's linked with the idea of going to knight a5 and capturing the already weak pawn on c4. However, here h6 was played, and h4 from white. Black took on g5, and so did white. And of course, if the knight moves, just to show everyone, if the knight goes, for example, there, after queen h5, it's pretty much game over, because queen h8 is a checkmate, and if f6 or f5, then g6, and it's over. So this is a typical attacking mechanism that also happens in other openings too, not only in this one. And to be honest, I wasn't personally familiar with the theory of this exact variation, the specific details. G6 was played from black almost instantly, takes on f6, takes with the queen, and e5, d takes e5 and d5, sacrificing a pawn, threatening the knight on c6, and the knight swinged to e7, d6 gaining a tempo, knight f5, knight d4, another tempo on the queen, queen d8, queen d3 with a clear idea of going queen h3, king g7 to stop that. Now, of course, if queen h3, that would be very well met by rook h8, leading to an exchange of everything on the h file. So queen takes h8, and then this is a winning position for black, because the pawn on d6 is, yes, a passed pawn. However, it's under control. So, okay, what happened in the game? King g7, g4, okay. And here bishop b7 from black, taking advantage of the weakened long diagonal now after the move g4. Rook h3, taking the rook out of there. Of course, if takes here, takes back with the pawn, and yeah, black is better here. I don't know about knight g3 protecting the rook. Maybe f4. Oh, bishop takes e1. Okay, bishop takes h1. So rook h3, knight to h4, g5, bishop takes e4. Here, yeah, takes back with the queen, of course. The knight, of course, comes to f5. The knight holds h6. Rook h8 can be played if ever needed, but rook d2 first, rook h8 takes on h8, and now d7. And here, I don't know what was better. Better, according to the engine, was rook d3. Yeah. Okay. d7 was played, and now rook d8, queen takes e5, king h7. I mean, without any doubt, if the rook was on d3 and it could go to h3, it would be completely winning. It would be game over. It would be a mate coming for white. However, that's not the case. Queen h2. So he's repeating here in order to gain time. This is a common trick, but of course, white doesn't want a repetition because they are better. Why are they better? Because even though the material is equal, they have a passed pawn on d7. And my favorite chess quote is the one by Aaron Nimzo-Indian in his book My System, that the passed pawn is a criminal that must be kept under lock and key. Mild measures such as police surveillance are not sufficient. Queen h4, king d1, okay, queen takes g5, king c2, queen e7. So black is very careful to take accurate care of the pawn on d7 and not allow it to progress. So bishop g2 was played, e5, bishop e4, threatening to capture the knight. Knight goes to h6, and here queen takes a7, knight g4. Bishop f3, knight takes f2, so he gives up the piece, but now aims to go e4, threatening the bishop, rook e2, f5, and now queen takes b6, rook takes d7, and after queen to b8, queen d6. The third, of course, is queen d1, so white swaps off the queens, and now in this position, black has just survived because the rook on d6 cuts off the white king from entering into the action. A great save by Nepo. And what did Ding Liren do here? Because now white has to be careful, because those three passed pawns are all protecting each other. So if the king comes up to f6 and from there to e5, danger can happen for white. So white gives up the piece, and after king f6 and rook e8, he offered him a draw, and black accepted it. So personally, I would bet, even though I'm not a gambling man, that Ian Nepomniachtchi will win this match now, because it was a big escape today, and also it was very important how he won the previous game in the French defense, where Ding Liren was probably slightly better and pressing for something. However, the time trouble that he got into and the lack of increment led him to a defeat. So Jan won the previous game and now saved the draw here. I think that he has a big advantage, and now if he wins the next game, he will go 2 points ahead. Personally, I believe that if he wins the next game, it will be pretty much game over. It will be very hard psychologically for Ding Liren to recover. So now we are all waiting to see the action. However, I need to warn everyone that I'm also going to go and play in a tournament myself, so I won't be able to make videos with the same consistency. However, I will be aiming to cover every single video. That's my goal. Now, it might not be on the same day. It might need to be on Sunday or on Monday. We will see. I've got stuff also in my personal life as well. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. And I really appreciate you for watching until the end. Thank you for watching. It will be an extremely exciting game. The next one, like this has been in general a very exciting match. Thank you very much for watching. And if you're a subscriber, I will catch you at the next video. Goodbye.